starts.
The sky's the limit for Aaron Stone, the C3 Urban Culture Champion, the guy who has been putting his mind, body, and soul into professional wrestling. He is one of the top stars at C3 Ultimate Wrestling, and we are happy that he is a part of the company. Through adversity and bitter rivals, he has defeated the likes of Mike Valentine, C-Red, Mike Strong, Sam Knight, and even his most bitter rival, Jackson P. Larkin at Kingdom Come. But the question is, how long will this reign last? Will he be a forever champion? Will he ever lose? So we have a challenge for him. Press Start 2 will be the start of the best out of 3 matches. Who will press start? Who has what it takes to take this championship away from Aaron Stone? Will Aaron Stone be successful as he's already been? Who will press start?
I'm ready to press nothing. Because a C3's only professional wrestler, I don't play games.
Aaron Stone versus Marcelo Spade. Best out of 3. Match 1. At Press Start 2. Yo. Testing. Yo. All right, guys. I just wanted to make sure everything is good. It has been a long time from speaking on live. I've been doing car vlogs. Been having a lot of views and subscriptions through the car vlogs. So I was doing a lot of those. And I was on second shift. So you guys know how that is dealing with my second shift. Sometimes I'm, making sure the kids go to school and all of that stuff before I'm relaxed and I'm going to work. What's going on, everybody? Make sure if you have not to subscribe to the Take It Home podcast, also to subscribe to the C3 Ultimate Wrestling channel. This is the logo, so make sure you subscribe to the top and right here to my left, but to you guys is right. Hope you guys are having a wonderful and blessed Thursday evening. You guys know me now. I got to tell you guys what's going on with me. Man, I got a lot of pictures. Okay, so this is what I have going on now. It's not 100% confirmed. I may have other shows coming up, but we have in December 3rd, Now Out of Control at Holidays Bar and Grill. This is in Appleton, Wisconsin. I have a title for title match against Jaden Mercer. I'm the now heavyweight champion. He is the Mid-Valley champion, and the reason why he is the Mid-Valley champion is because he actually beat me for it. So now I have time to get redemption and be a double champ. So that is going to be good. We also have a No Regrets Wrestling. I don't have it because I had to cook, guys. Sorry. That is December 18th or 17th. 17th, yes, December 17th. That's going to be good. It's a Now show and a No Regrets Wrestling show. That's going to be good. We have C3 Ultimate Wrestling. We're coming back January 21st, 2023. It's going to be so dope. I just got some more exciting news. I can't wait to show you guys. We also have the main event is the King, Miles Mercer versus the Cobra for the C3 Ultimate Championship. So this is a tough competitor for Miles Mercer because Cobra has been gaining weight and gold himself. So this will be a dope battle. And then I also announced another match was the Urban Culture Championship is going to be a best of 3 series. The first match will happen at Press Start 2, and then the other matches will happen at later dates that are confirmed. So it's a best of 3. I like this old school aesthetic to wrestling. So that is going to be very excited to see with Marcelo Spade versus Aaron Stone. Shout out to Yellow Pill Coffee Company and everything that he continues to do going live. Shout out to our sponsors, Limelight Comics and A Penny for Your Thoughts, Sweets for Your Soul. So you get a fix for cookies and comics and everything like that. And if you go to limelightcomics.com, you can buy a lot of their digital product. I also bought some of their stuff. I'm planning to buy more and have an interview with David. We have to make sure the time is right. You guys want to throw a birthday party? We got you. You got you. Just hit the number that's on the picture, and then also hit us on the email or even on the social media and everything like that. God bless you, my little baby. My baby sneezed. If you go to the Take It Home podcast, I got some of my matches up, some of my old matches. I've uploaded like 2 old matches that I've had. So my wife had it on her phone. Shout out to her. So hopefully you guys check that out and you get a reaction and everything like that. All right, so let's go into it because I spent a little bit more time than I expected to cook. So if you guys have comments or anything, just leave it. I'll get to it before I get off of live, but we'll go in. All right. The question is, this is the name of it. We're going to do part 1 and part 2. The question is, has social media done more harm to the wrestling business or has it helped? That's the first one. So whoever comments and stuff like that, like I said, that is welcome. That is cool. Like I said, I'm still trying to understand. I really wish that Facebook would do the older thing of announcing it instead of making an online event. As you guys can see, I'm trying to mess with this filter because I know that one of my kids, either my daughter or my youngest son, has broken it. But of course, going back into it. Okay, so I do have a list. Social media in general, it gives everybody's opinion. It gives people an option to have their voice be heard. If it's a true statement, if it's a senile, if it's an evil, if it's a righteous comment, people have that kind of outlet through social media. You can disrespect somebody. Sometimes you may not meet that person. You can have any kind of agenda. You can stir the pot or anything like that. Like I said, you can use it for good and you can use it for bad. Forgive me. As I'm looking for my notes. But like I said, we're going to talk about it on the wrestling standpoint. We're going to try to keep it on the wrestling standpoint. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to use things of otherworldly things to prove a point, but I do want to speak about good and bad. So, social media. Okay. A positive about social media with wrestling is that you can market yourself by being at home or wherever you at. You might be at work and you can actually work on marketing yourself. You know, like even me, right? I have this podcast, right? The Taking Home podcast. But then I also say, I messed it up already. Subscribe to this channel and also C3 Ultimate Wrestling channel as well. So that's my way that I can also broadcast what I'm doing. And at the bottom, you see C3 Ultimate Wrestling. Then you see on Facebook. And then you also see my Twitch that I'm rarely get on because I forgot the password. Stop, mama. Stop. You see how kids be? I'm gonna make you go upstairs. Don't do that. Okay? Thank you. But going back into it, you can use it as a platform. You can use it to promote your wrestling shows. Like me, what I do at the beginning, I promote what I got going on, or if I'm cool with people or whatever like that, I promote what they have going on, even if it's wrestling or sponsorships and things like that. You can promote yourself. You know, nowadays, back in the day, you used to have a manager, a PR person, and people still do that stuff. People still have coaches and stuff like that. I'm about to send my daughter upstairs, but like sometimes you can do these kind of things to where you can market yourself. If you feel like a company does not believe in you, if you believe that of a company does not believe into you or sow a seed into you or feel like you can make money off of it, why not? A lot of people sell gear, clothes, toys, buddies, foot pics, OnlyFans. Like, you can do a whole bunch of stuff through social media with wrestling. You don't have to have a $1 million or $1 billion corporation behind producing your stuff. You invest in that thing. And that's like another topic that I am going to talk about eventually, is the investing. And hopefully C Red, shout out to him, he can also be a part of the panel. So always remember that, like, this is a good thing to market. You can also go online and see how you can market yourself and also take advantage of that. That's always a good thing with it. So don't forget that. One thing that I do not like that social media for wrestling does is, the business is exposed. Now, let me say this how I say it. Like, what I say on here can expose it, but I try my best to protect it as well. You get what I'm saying? So you have a lot of people, vloggers and stuff like that, who do know who are friends with wrestlers and stuff like that, and they try to get a camera and go behind the scenes and stuff like that, and try to get the scoop. And sometimes that's what they want to do. But then when it becomes with wrestlers, it becomes a problem sometimes, because it's like, let's not show everybody our locker room. We don't need to show everybody what we do and how we converse with each other and stuff like that. We don't need that. So, I know Sammy Guevara, I know the Elite, a lot of these guys have YouTube channels where they actually, show everything that goes behind the scenes. And WWE is not exempt from it too, especially when they had the shows like Total Divas, and they were showing, like, I remember Cameron's boyfriend was upset that Brodus was calling Cameron out of her name, and he wanted to go to the back and do this and that. And then even that show in itself, right? Hey, my name is Trinity, but I go by Naomi, or this is this and that. So it's just like, you're exposing more stuff. Like, I know it's easy for people to talk about certain things and to promote and stuff like that, but you don't have to expose the business through it. Some wrestlers, especially the old school wrestlers, they get upset when fans try to use our terminology during the show or even on Facebook. Some are okay, some are fine with it, but some are upset with it. You know what I'm saying? Some don't like using the terminology because that's what we're supposed to be using and stuff like that. But now, since the business is more exposed, most people are comfortable saying that, to where I can post something and then somebody can say a terminology from wrestling or whatever like that. Like I said, wrestling has been exposed for a long time, but I've always tried my best to make sure that the locker room should be preserved. That should be sacred. It should be respected or whatever like that. I was going to drop a video last year where I was going to go behind the scenes and show people what I do as a promoter and as a booker, but then I just canned it because I was like, let us just have that at least. So let the wrestlers who I wrestle for, let them have that at least. A lot of people do vlogs, doing TV shows. Now people can do their own TV shows. They don't need all these corporations and everything like that. So I've always felt like wrestling has been exposed a lot, and has been exposed before I even got into the business, but we can still preserve a lot of stuff. And I think that some people disagree, and that's why they do what they do, and by exposing it. Hey, it's already exposed, so let me tell everybody my real name, or let me take a picture online and show everybody that I'm actually friends with this person who in story set my house on fire and killed my dog. Just like a lot of people want to talk about long-term storytelling, but then you expose the story at the end of the day when you are doing certain things and saying certain things and carrying yourself. So that's a negative thing. I'm going to send my baby upstairs. I don't want to send her upstairs because I know she's going to cry, but she is too loud for me. But that's one of those things that's a negative for social media as well, and it can change. And that's the thing that I want to say. Some of these things can actually change, and if people can actually stand up and say, you know what, we don't have to do that. But nowadays, people want views and all of this stuff and revenue and be monetized, and they want to make the best of it. So that's a key thing. A good thing for social media is that you can, and this goes into marketing, you can increase your views and your followers. Like I said, that goes into monetization. That goes into people buying your merchandise and stuff like that. If you have 1 million people, you'll have most likely more people that will probably buy your shirt than if you have 1,000 subscribers, or even if you have 100, and it goes and stuff like that, because some people want to support you. Some people, hey, I'm a fan of you, or I do like what you say on your platform or what you post. And like I said, if you want to do all kind of social media and fans sites and stuff like that, people can subscribe to that. You don't have to go to a convention or a wrestling show and put out your merchandise on the table and stuff like that. If you have somebody who doesn't live here, like you got a fan in New York, that can actually order something online and fund you. Or if you have a GoFundMe. Now, you guys know how I feel about GoFundMes, but If you have that, people can contribute and they can help you, followers and stuff that can possibly open doors for other wrestling companies as well, because they can see how many followers you got and capitalize on it. Or even the major 2 companies in America or other stuff that can look at your stuff and they can like what they see and invest in you and stuff like that. Honestly, Emma came back, and when Emma had a whole bunch of followers, she had like over 1 million. WWE was trying to capitalize on it, but then they canned it before they can even open it. So that's a plus. You can always think about that kind of stuff. I'm going to check my Facebook real quick because Facebook comments do not show on live comments. So I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Excuse me. I'm going to go back to my list. All right. Another thing that is bad about social media with wrestling is a lot of things go viral that should not go viral for the sake of the business. You get what I'm saying? You have, and I've talked about this a lot. You have a lot of things. You have a lot of people who do jokes. You have a lot of people who do not even take this business seriously, or they really expose and do stupid stuff. But what happens is they get views, and sometimes those views, they make money off of it because people book them. I've talked about the guys in Walmart who are doing the wrestling moves, and come to find out, I think 1 or 2 of them are actually wrestlers. So it kind of makes it a little bit worse in my opinion, but these guys got booked at places. A lot of people booked them because what they were doing in wrestling, the RKOs, the spears, the going through the tables and getting up and stuff like that, way exposing the business. But you're doing this for likes, you're doing this for money and stuff like that, and you expose the business and you're getting booked. And I can't just say it's their fault. You get what I'm saying? Because they're not booking themselves. These are companies that are considered legit wrestling companies that other wrestlers want to wrestle for, booking guys who some are considered a wrestler or training to be one, and some who aren't, and they're getting an opportunity. So it's just like when you see celebrities wrestling and they're taking a spot from one of the boys, you should be upset with people booking Walmart guys, or even Superhuman, that dude who jumps on all kind of barbed wire, microwaves, toys, Legos, and all kind of stuff. So you have a lot of things to where if it goes viral, people will book. A lot of people are hit or miss with what's his name, Luigi Primo, the pizza guy, the guy with the pizza dough or the fake pizza dough, and he act like he's wrestling with it and stuff like that. And I can understand both sides on why people like it and why some people don't like it. But at the same time, he was on AEW for like 2-3 weeks or whatever like that because of him being viral and stuff like that. AEW is the number 2 American company, and he made it for a couple segments, regardless if he got beat up, kicked in the face, or whatever like that. So that's just one of those things as well. It wasn't that long ago I saw a dog wrestling and pin somebody, and you're like, oh, that's a cute dog. But at the same time, like, was this really necessary? Was this really necessary? But wrestling is subjective. That goes in to what I say. I don't have to abide or agree with everything that people do on a wrestling standpoint, but there are some things that I do think is utterly ridiculous. The biggest thing with us wrestlers is that we're supposed to say that we're supposed to be safe. But then when you have guys that are doing things that are very unsafe, turn around and get bookings and get opportunities and stuff like that, it kind of makes us look like a fool. You get what I'm saying? So it's nothing, sometimes we do have to try to find our stride, and we have to find our way in doing certain things and stuff like that. And sometimes we got to do things to be different. But when a guy who is untrained could actually just jump off of something and land on something and actually get a booking and get paid and be flued out, that could be disheartening. I'm not even gonna lie. That could be a disheartening situation. So that's on the negative side. All right, Cam, I'm going live, man. But anyway, excuse me about y'all. Yeah, and that goes into giving the opportunity on the negative side. You have a lot of guys that do want to wrestle for these major companies, and then sometimes they get shunned because somebody is going viral. And regardless if they are trained or not, they're getting TV time, and the person who's working hard is not. It's unfair. It's not just the AEW or WWE thing. It's an independent thing, too. They got a lot of people. Stop, mama. You got a lot of people that book people who have no experience or anything like that, but you have them wrestle. And sometimes they actually do train and stuff like that. I'm not in everybody's training facility, but you get what I'm saying when I say that. I don't think Superhuman is training when he gets booked and stuff like that, for people to see him go through tables or go through a microwave or go through anything crazy and ludicrous like that. This is a good. Okay, I'll go to a positive one. A positive thing for social media is you could, even going through what I said about Superhuman and the Walmart boys, you could put your matches out. Stop, mama. Stop. You could put your matches up, and then other companies could look at that and be interested in booking you. So it is the negative, because you do have guys that aren't trained or don't know how to wrestle and stuff like that. They can get an opportunity before you can. But at the same time, and I always suggest this, if you do have a camera, if you have a phone or whatever like that, record your matches and stuff like that. See if it's okay, if you can upload it and stuff like that. You don't know what that can reach or who it could reach. Hey, I'm looking for more people to wrestle. I'm looking for more people to be booked. Like, what can I do? So if you have the match, some people may watch it all and some people may not. Also, if you have promos, make sure you upload your promos too. Promos are very important. I keep saying that because a lot of people think promos should just be optional, but no, you should want to promote yourself and the company. You know, maybe your personality, it might help you get some more money in your pocket. Stop making all that noise. Could put more money in your pocket, could give you opportunities. Who knows, a Triple H or Tony or any other companies, these major companies that are coming up, they may actually look at what you have. So social media is good because, you know, a lot of companies out here, but there's not a lot of companies that Triple H or anybody else is really going to try to look at talent. But now if you get a big enough buzz, you could actually get a lot of people to see who you are and stuff like that. You know, like even look at like an Orange Cassidy. Like I said, his stuff is subjective as well, but at the same time, his views, he has like some of the most views on the AEW's YouTube channel, and people like him, people cheer for him, people pay to see him and stuff like that. So what you do online, especially if it's on a good thing, it could actually work out for the good. You know, just continue to work hard and everything. Like I said, like a lot of stuff is going on with my channel, and I'm grateful to God for that. I'm grateful for the viewers and the subscriptions and stuff like that. They just come out of nowhere from certain videos because a lot of people are curious to hear what exactly do I have to say about certain things. And I respect that. So the next topic was, it's a good or bad with this, is that with social media and wrestling is that many people have their views. And it's not just, sometimes it's a political, sometimes it's religious, sometimes it's moral, or sometimes it's personal. You know, I think what happens is a lot of people try to put everybody's thing in a certain thing, puts a certain box or whatever like that. And sometimes you may not agree with what somebody says. Now it can be good because at least you're being open to how you feel about something, especially if you feel like it's injustice. It could be bad because what you believe or support may not be what everybody else's support. It might not even be what the majority support, and they could be against it or whatever like that. Especially if it's something to do, like I said, morality, people's political, like all of this stuff is different. That's also subjective in a way. You know, people feel a certain way. So that's it's a good and a bad thing because you can express yourself there. And you know, with us wrestlers, and I wish most of us still do this, we need to stick together. We're getting predators and abusers and stuff out of the wrestling business, you know, and some of us use social media for that, with screenshots, with pictures of people who are registered offenders and stuff like that. We need to continue to do that. So that's like a good thing, so we can rid these people, so we can protect our locker room, we can protect our women, we can protect other men too, and we can protect our children at the end of the day. But with the bad thing, you know, some people may not like what you like and may not support what you support or whatever like that. Now me, I'm a person that I can possibly hear your side, but if it's just straight carnal, no, we don't need to deal with that. But everybody has a different level of tolerance. But with social media, people have their own opinions, and then they voice them regardless if they're good, bad, just, unjust, or not. So that's just a thing with social media. So I'll say that key point, excuse me, is a good or bad thing. A positive though, a positive is you could use social media to reach out to wrestlers or even veterans or people who's been in the game for a long time, and you could ask them for advice. They may or may not respond, but at least you have a way of access. Some people do. Some people tweet it. Some people subtweet it and retweet it and stuff like that. Instead of going to a convention and asking them and stuff, or sending a letter or things like that, you can send stuff or talk to people. And what I've seen is I've seen a lot of these wrestlers, they actually respond back as best as they could, because I know they're busy and they have a lot of things that they have to do as well. So that's a good thing as well. Like I know Dutch Mantel, he talks to a lot of people online and stuff. I know Lance Storm and stuff like that. I know people harp on Disco Inferno, but he talks to people sometimes and things like that. Some of the advice is good and bad. You know, you do have some people that do go online and they charge people to watch their matches. Y'all making too much noise now. Maya, making too much noise now. So you do have people. You do have a lot of people who give advice and stuff like that. Even when I'm online, and then you have Atlas, you have C Red, you have Willie, you have John. Shout out to you. You have a lot of people. You have a lot of people that give advice for free. They'll do it on their personal page, you know, because they care about the business so much. And then sometimes if they see something and they know it's not right, they're not afraid and to say, hey, that's not right. And then you have people that will actually say, hey, you know, this isn't the right way, or this isn't cool. And even if you disagree with them, you know, they'll say how they feel respectfully. So that's another take from that. So that's like a good thing, having access to a lot of people who have knowledge of the business. Say, hey. Well, y'all see, this is my partner. Here go my other one. Come here. Come here. This is my youngest son right here, and this is my daughter. And they talking all while I'm doing my live. Get away from me. But going back into it. So yeah, those are the kind of things to think about as well. You know, I can message somebody and say, hey, how does this feel? Or how is this? Or could I do this? Does this make sense? Or if I could share a video, what's the issue? What's wrong with this? So that's also a great thing. Another thing that's bad though, YouTube YouTube training some of these wrestlers. Look, there's a lot of wrestlers, a lot of promoters, a lot of people who own companies. They do videos online and they show people how to do moves. Here's how you do a hammer lock. Here's how you do a hammer throw, a headlock takedown, figure four leg lock, Indian death lock, headlock, padlock, mat lock, patty lock, all locks, pop lock and drop it. It's a lot of people who train. Well, not train. They show people, and what happens is you have a lot of people that get invested and want to be a wrestler so bad to the point to where they'll actually have a playlist of wrestlers teaching moves and stuff and look at it over and over and over and over, and then they try to do it. I recommend you actually go to a training school and see how to do it and learn how to do things instead of just doing that, because the thing is, this gets people booked. Sometimes promoters don't look at a background check on how many matches has this person has. They'll just look at, oh, they have decent gear, literally just decent gear, and we're going to book him because his gear is decent. We're just going to assume he has professional wrestling gear. He's a professional wrestler. Look, when I get messages and stuff like that, people send me promos. They send me pictures. They send me stuff. They say how long they've been wrestling and stuff like that. Those are key things. You know, when you say, you know, you can't just go off of somebody saying that they're a wrestler. And then you can also see if y'all have mutual friends and see if they know, see if somebody can vouch for him. That's always like a big thing with that. That's always a big thing to even think about and stuff like that. YouTube, trust me, I do consider myself a do-it-yourselfer. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll go to YouTube and like something was wrong with the washing machine, and I figured out what was wrong with the washing machine through YouTube. When my dryer messed up, I went through that. When trying to learn how to put a mailbox post up, and I'm proud of my mailbox post. I'm proud of that. That's like one of the best things I've done, besides be a father, of course, and a child of God and a husband. I'm proud of that. Those kind of things, they are obviously recommended that professionals do it, whatever like that. But at the same time, wrestling is a different thing because you're dealing with somebody else's body as well. You're dealing with your body as well, falling, bumping, doing things. You have to learn how to do it the right way. But with YouTube being so accessible nowadays, you can subscribe to people and they'll show you how to do wrestling moves, and they'll be in a ring showing you how to do it, but you're sitting here doing it on your bed, or you're doing it outside, or you're doing it on your patio, or something like that. You get what I'm saying? So with YouTube trainers, like, I do feel like that's a big thing, and I do think that should be addressed more. That's my baby, yo. Say hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Love you.
You.
But yeah, that's one of them. I think I got one more. Then I'm gonna go to my second topic. All right, hold on, guys. Got my whole baby on me. All right.
Hi.
Yeah. All right. So this goes into the personal thing as well. What I spoke about earlier. What they spoke about earlier is like people's opinions. Sometimes people's opinions are just opinions, and sometimes they can be ignorant, they can be toxic, they can be an ick, whatever you people ick, whatever ick you want to talk about. It can be anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, with social media, it's free to get on outside of paying for Wi-Fi and having the computer and stuff, but somebody can buy you that and stuff like that, and you can get Wi-Fi for free at McDonald's or something like that. And people can put their opinion. It can be toxic, it can be misleading, but the thing with it is, all it takes is one person to say something toxic, and then one person looks at it and say, hey, I agree with that, and then the whole thing is bad. Like John Cena. A lot of people are sick of John Cena talking about 5 moves of doom and stuff like that. But then when your mind matures and stuff like that, you realize that a lot of wrestlers have a 5 move of doom, or even less than that, or maybe even more than that. But I do think that, like, a lot of people upset because he was going through a lot of the legends and people who we liked and stuff like that. And, he did look kind of stale because he wore jorts compared to everybody wearing gear and stuff like that. But when you say, hold on, mama, but when you say 5 moves of doom, that's just a part of the game. This was, before I was even a wrestler. I peep game, but that goes into it. Even if you have an ignorant comment, like I've seen a lot of people say they love this wrestler, they like this wrestler, but then there's personal accounts, which it is their personal account, so they can say what they want to say just as much as anybody else. It's trash. It's trash, and it's horrible. You get what I'm saying? It's trash. It's trash. It's trash, and it's a horrible opinion. It's a horrible take. And you'll be like, who books them? And then people winds up booking them because they're worrying about business more than a personal thing. Now, there's a time and place for everything, but at the same time, you do have to protect your brand. So, I think it's I'm on the fence about it. Has social media hurt wrestling more than help? I want to say it hurt more because of people's opinions and what people do and what wrestlers do on social media and stuff like that. But I also want to say it helped more because it does help people get more money with streaming services as well. You don't have to leave your house to pay to watch a show. You can go on Fight TV or whatever streaming service they have. That kind of thing. You're generating more money. A show could be sold out and somebody could be so thirsty to watch the show, so it's hit and miss with both or whatever like that. I do think that we are in a time, and we've been in a time where people feel entitled. So now when you give people a social media platform via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, here, mama, you're gonna have to get on. When you do give somebody a title, when you do give somebody a platform or whatever, they're going to really feel entitled, because if you get more subscribers and stuff like that, people will want to see that. Take your sister upstairs. I'm sorry, y'all. If she making too much noise, you gonna stop crying? Go upstairs. I just want to do a live. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Little baby was wilding. I hope everything is going all right. I know some people have got back on, so shout out to y'all who stayed through that. The question and the topic was, first topic was, is social media, does it do more harm or does it help the wrestling business? So if anybody want to leave comments about it, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to show it on the screen and we'll talk about your take. But I am going to go to the second topic because I just wanted to speak for an hour or whatever like that. But dealing with my baby, I'm tired. Dealing with my baby can do some stuff sometimes. I got hit up yesterday by our legend, Willie the Bomb Richardson. Shout out to everything you continue to do, praying for you, my brother. And I did want to speak about what he sent. So he went to a wrestling show. Excuse me, let me get some Kool-Aid. He went to a wrestling show last weekend, and he said that it was somebody's last match, and the person lost their last match. So he basically was saying, like, why does the person whose last match, like, why do they have to lose? Why can't they go out blazing glory? Why can't they, like, come up with a win? Why does it always have to lose? And he was like, he understood that, passing the torch or, giving somebody the rub or whatever like that. But at the same time, why not just go out on a win? Now, I want to talk about that. First of all, wrestlers don't really retire. The only time wrestlers actually retire is if it's a illness, serious injury, or death. Trust me, I tried to retire one time. It didn't work. It's like in the archives. I tried one time, but a lot of stuff happened, and then now I'm wrestling. I was supposed to actually retire from my wrestling company, C3 Ultimate Wrestling, because I wanted to help the people, and I still am. So, like I said, when I do what needs to be done for my company, I'm gonna go back into the backstage role. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I've tried to retire one time, and then when I came back, I hurt myself, and then I was like, I felt like I had something to prove. So with wrestling, I know guys that's been wrestling for 20, 30 years and stuff like that. That stuff puts a toll on your body. It puts a toll on my body now. And sometimes we'll be like, all it takes is watching one match. What's it for? It should be on the couch somewhere. All it takes is one match, one good match to look at, and you get inspired. Or all it takes is one person to get inspired. Check the cover. All it takes is one good match, one thing, somebody to motivate you to come back. Or sometimes you just be like, you know what? I feel like I got a lot left in me. A week and a half ago, I participated in somebody's final match. And it was very emotional, I will say that. But it's just like, you could just, this kind of stuff happens. Sometimes our injuries pile up. Sometimes we do it for so long that we feel like that's it. We got kids, wives, husbands, we got other stuff that we need to want to spend more time with. A lot of us wrestlers know, especially if we're in a relationship, if we're or married or we do have kids, there are decisions, good and bad, that have to be made. with wrestling and stuff like that, because sometimes we feel like we have something to prove, and some people retire because they felt like they didn't prove their worth, or the politics, or even what was it, the speaking out movement. When that happened, you had a lot of people retired for 2 months and they came back. But we're not going to talk about that now. As far as going out as a retired, as going out into retirement as your final match, if I had to choose, I mean, who doesn't like winning? But if it's losing, that's okay. Usually the losing thing is because it's just like you have nothing else to prove. You have nothing else to prove as a performer. You're already possibly a legend. You're probably respected. You probably, so many people are behind you already. So it doesn't matter. Even if you win or lose, you're gonna get excuse me, the standing ovation. But if it is a win, and they've had a lot of people who've retired with wins as well, that's fine as well. At one point when Trish beat Lita at the time, that was Trish's last match, and it was in Toronto, I believe. Trying to think of other wins. It's slim, but they're there. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people usually want to lose, or they choose to lose because it's usually passed to a younger wrestler, or a wrestler that they like, or to end a long time feud. You know, I truly think that Ric Flair's last match should have just been him versus Shawn Michaels, instead of going to Impact and doing some independent shows and then having a show called Rick's Last Match, which we all know deep down in our hearts it is not our last match. And he won it, by the way, but I don't feel like that's his last match. Hogan will possibly have another match because it's going to make a lot of money. You know, you'd be surprised. Money will make people get out of retirement too. Like CM Punk. but but going back into it, I understand both sides. Sometimes you want to leave with the dub, with being on top, to say, hey, you know, I still got it and I may come back. You know, Undertaker's match with AJ Styles, that was his last match. And the Boneyard match, and it was cinematic and stuff like that, but that's still on a high note because he was with a great performer in AJ Styles and stuff like that. So those are things to think about. Even Kurt Angle, right? Kurt Angle lost against Baron Corbin when he retired, but it was, to me, it was actually a decent match. I think a lot of people did want Cena to come in. I did too. I'm not gonna lie, but Corbin is decent. So, but people were upset that Corbin didn't lose, and I'm like, it's okay, you know. What else does Kurt have to prove? And that's usually why some people lose, is have the thing of losing, because that's like, what do we have to prove? What else left do we have to do? What is it? What's next? Why, you know, I've won titles, and some people haven't. Some people knew their position in the company. You get what I'm saying? They knew what to do. So some people want to win, you know, hey, never say never, or, you know, it's a trophy or it's a consolation prize, you know. I want people to come circle the ring, clap their hands, make some noise and stuff like that, and be emotional about it. But people are going to be emotional regardless and stuff like that. Like I said, I've seen a lot of wrestlers come in and leave and retire, and I've seen a lot of them come back. I'm one of them. I should have plotted a little bit better, but I'm actually one of those. And that was only for just one company. You know, how do I feel retiring? How would I want my last match? If Lord willing, I am wrestling, let's say the next 10 years or 11 years. If I'm wrestling the next 10 and 11 years, if one of my sons want to wrestle or something like that, or is a wrestler or whatever like that, I would love to go against one of my kids as a final match, as going out. That would be dope to me. That would be like an ultimate passing of the torch, or something like that. Like, okay, well, Classic is not wrestling no more, but we have the seed of Classic or whatever. But that's their choice. Not going to put that on them or whatever. I know my youngest son, he says he wants to, and things like that, and that's dope. But even, you know, I got a daughter. My daughter, Samaya, may want to do it and whatever like that. I know people are big on intergender matches. I'm not, even though I beat my wife And if you haven't seen it, Chris Classic versus Sensational Shay, you should, because that was a pretty dope match. But going back into it, that's how I would want to go out. But if not, I would definitely. I'm trying to make everybody cry. I want. If it's not my children, it's gonna be somebody that I like or somebody that I don't like. Whoever it is, who knows? You just don't know when. I feel like I can wrestle for a long time, but sometimes you can just wake up and say, "Well, that's it. That's it. It's time to ride off into the sunset." That kind of thing happens. As far as winning and losing and things like that, I understand. If people had a choice, they'd probably be like, you know what, I want to win all my matches. And some people be like, you know what, I want to lose all my matches. But my thing is, as long as it's having fun, as long as you're having fun, as long as it's telling the story, as long as it's psychology and everything like that, you'll be good to go. So that's my take on that. I'm going to try to do another live. What's today? Thursday. I may do one Saturday. I'm going to try to get back into doing the live thing. Car vlogs. Excuse me. This is probably going to be the cycle of it. If I'm on first shift, I may just do lives. I'll do my live at 5 like I usually do, because that's where I get a lot of traffic. A lot of people coming in from work. A lot of people listening on the way to work or going home or practicing and stuff like that. So that's what I'll do. I'll do that. And then when I'm doing my 3 to 11s, the late shifts, I'll do car vlogs on the way there. That way I'll be consistent with videos and stuff like that. I don't want to wait a week to try to do videos and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys, God bless you, tolerated my kids in the back, cool. God bless you guys. I know a lot of guys are going to come back and watch this when it's not live or whatever like that. If you guys do look at this on YouTube or anything else, make sure you subscribe, follow. You find me on Facebook, Chris Classic Williams. I will add, leave comments, subscribe. C3 Ultimate Wrestling is close to 100 subscribers. I think I got 91 subscribers. Let's try to get 100 before this year ends. And then the Take It Home podcast, I think I'm at like 134. Let's try to get this at 150 at least. Let's at least 150. But if you, hey man, tell your mama and your grandma and cousin Skeeter you don't talk to no more because he stole your Stacey Adams in 95. Talk to him and see if he want to subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day. This is Chris Classic. God bless you guys. Let's take it home.